cool. Alright, so what do we got left to do here? I don't think I have anything up, because I think I intentionally saved Agrabah for last. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold Bastion. What's my items looking like? How many torn pages do I have? I have 5. How many torn pages are there in the game? Okay, I found them all. Alright, then I guess it's off to the 100 Acre Wood. Sup, streamer, you can for calling me on a guest? Sure, I could use a talkerino. I don't really have anybody else in stream anyway, so I don't think anybody's gonna watch Kingdom Hearts besides you and maybe Corbin. I don't even know.
It'd help if my mic was actually down.
Oof. The weird thing about streaming Kingdom Hearts is I don't hear the game at all.
Yeah, I'm currently working on my full excellent grind on Dark Domination.
Oof.
And
Has
I
redeemed
had
last. Oof.
What's funny is I actually had an attempt tonight, because I got the second half season. I always full chain and full excellent the second half. First half, that's the problem. Is of those long lines of X's and stuff in the running version. I actually had an attempt tonight where I full excellented the entire first half, except for one good on the easiest part of the first half.
You're gonna lurk while you're at work. Okie dokie, Corbin. Sounds good.
Yeah, I messaged Joe. I was in Joey's stream. I was like, "Oh, Jason's actually playing Kingdom Hearts." I was kind of joking when I said, "Playing Kingdom Hearts will alleviate your boredom."
Yeah, well, you know.
I mean, you needed to.
I actually had the thought about it, like, because of the fact that Sora's, you know, coming to Smash in a week. I was
Are
like,
you gonna continue? That'll actually make a good continuation LP, continuing your marathon in celebration of Sora getting into Smash.
yeah, I mean, I plan to do every game on stream exception to 3, because I think making an LP out of 3 would be a lot more fun to me.
Except for the 3 and 1, because you already finished 1.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll be making LPs out of all of them, it's just that 2 for the rest of it will be a stream
You
layout.
started up. You got up to the end of Olympus 1 on videos, and then you started streaming after that. Well, I'm pretty sure it was Olympus 1.
Yeah, it was Olympus 1 because I fought the Hydra on stream.
Oh, you stopped right before
That's
the
the
Hydra
exact
fight?
reason you got KH back. Oh, because Sora got in Smash? I mean, it's a great reason for people to get into the game. And yeah, I hate the cloud system so much that that's going to be the way for, you know, people to play Kingdom Hearts on Switch who don't have a PlayStation, but I honestly feel like people might actually just go out and buy a PlayStation 4 and get Kingdom Hearts anyway.
I still want to know what the hell logic Rin was using for telling Joey to play Kingdom Hearts 2 first.
I think it's just because she's one of the ones who loves Kingdom Hearts 2. And so, like...
Me personally, I love all the games equally.
I love all the games, exception to Chain of Memory. Chain of Memory can go rot in a hole.
Riku's story isn't too bad in Chain.
Well, it's not, like, the story per se. It's the gameplay. I never get past the gameplay. Dude,
well, how far into? I have a question. How far into Sora's story have you gotten?
I got
You've told me the answer to this at some point, but I can't remember it.
I've gotten to Destiny Islands. Like,
oh,
well, actually,
so
okay.
you made.
Okay.
That's like the end game.
Yeah, I've made it near the end of the game. I think on the GBA I got to the second Riku fight, which is after... I believe is after...
It's after, I know which... The 4 Riku fights.
I'm pretty sure it's after Destiny Island, because I remember playing Destiny Island.
Nope, that is not true. That's like the 4th Riku fight. I'm pretty sure Destiny... Yeah. For Sora, it's the 4th Riku fight, because I'm pretty sure Destiny Islands is the second to last.
I swear I remember getting to Destiny Island. I just, like...
Because you first run into Repliku after the first set of worlds, or is that when you run into Larxene the first time?
That might be Larxene.
No, you fight... During the second set of worlds, you fight Repliku twice, and after the second set of worlds, you fight Repliku again. Although after the second set of worlds... No, you fight Vexen after the second set of worlds, because then you defeat Vexen once and for all in Twilight Town, which is after the second set.
Which I've done on both GBA and,
Vexen kicked my ass. Vexen can go die in the corner.
Yeah, I agree. Vexen was like my struggle.
And then after you fight Repliku the 3rd time after Twilight Town, but because Repliku was having an internal struggle, that was easy. The 4th time, I had major problems with, and then you have a fight against Larxene immediately after the 4th time. But there is a chance to save in between the 2 fights.
Yeah.
My aunt designed my deck for the Larxene fight. That's how bad it was going.
See, and then there's me.
And then Marluxia just... Axel was easy both times.
Then there's me, you know, it's just a noob. No matter, I can never get behind the card system. I hate it so much.
And then for Riku's story, I had like very little problems. Riku's story is very easy. You go into it thinking it's gonna be hard because the game sets your deck. But it's actually easy because you can just slate the enemies to death.
Yeah.
So Riku I haven't had too many problems with. Like right now I'm going through the second set of worlds and I think I have 2 worlds left. But Riku, you also fight Zexion and Lexaeus, which their absent silhouette fights suck in 2.
Oh dear God, I remember.
Jump down, Piglet.
Lexaeus
Kingdom Hearts 2. Those were
Lexaeus especially. Zexion, if you can survive the books in Zexion's fight, Zexion's fine. Lexaeus, the whole powering system just confused me. I could not figure that out. You also run into Zexion first though, but I think Zexion was the 3rd one I beat. I know I hadn't beat Marluxia Seps and Silhouette when I beat the game yet.
Yeah.
Marluxia just...
You remember my name? Really, truly remembered?
Also, Subs, I like the fact that you banned memes. Is that because you know he'd probably come in here and be like, ew, Kingdom Farts?
Me? Very brave? No, but it's easy to be brave.
I,
when you have a
I
wonderful
realized that
friend
a
like
while
you,
ago. I just
Pooh
didn't say
Bear.
anything.
I'm happy for you guys.
Oh, and thank you for rescuing my friend.
Haley
Yeah,
Joel
so-
Osment. This
After
took place
we-
after you
Oh.
hit puberty.
Sure.
After my
Don't mention
aunt
it.
and I finish Chain, we're gonna sit through the hour-and-a-half, 2-hour movie called 358 over 2 movie, and we're gonna take a break before we start 2. At which point I'll work on my 100% of Chain.
Yeah. 358 over 2
we-
days. It's a good game, but God, the
We're
DS
just
makes
watching-
it so limited.
We're just watching the movie.
Dude, freaking some of the, I think 358 over 2 days has like great story and gameplay, but the bosses are like the worst in the entire series.
It explains a lot of things about the organization's actions in 2. Like why Sora is called Roxas all the time.
Well, I mean, I already knew. I didn't even play 358 over 2 days before 2, and
Me and my
like,
Oh, did it
I
You
already
actually-
knew that. I already kind of had an
Come on.
idea, like that's the reason why they were calling him Roxas, was because because they show cutscenes of like Axel and Roxas in the organization, so they're like,
right.
oh hey, it's Roxas.
Eeyore,
My favorite thing,
are you okay? Gosh, that's too
Also,
bad, Eeyore.
can we
all
just
that
hands
work.
down agree that Terra has the best
No
character
matter.
theme in the game?
Most likely would have fallen
Yeah.
down anyway.
Terra's also like the
help you
character
fix
I
your house,
feel
Eeyore.
like. Yeah, sure, Aqua
Hello there, big
struggled the most
Thanks
a
for
lot,
all.
but like I think Terra's like a real.
Terra and
struggle.
Ventus
Your
struggled
fun
with
day,
darkness. Terra especially. Ventus
hello,
struggled with
Piglet.
darkness just because of Vanitas. Aqua was there trying to bring her friends
And
back to
hello,
the
somebody
light.
I don't know.
And then the end failed
Pooh,
with
this is
Terra for
Eeyore.
10 years.
You know Eeyore, don't you?
See, the weird thing is like
I do?
10 years? 12 years?
Terra Nor literally like, fell off the face of the earth.
But that's how Xemnas was born at the same time. Xemnas and...
Well, yeah, but I'm meaning like
I have
he
an
wasn't.
idea.
He didn't really have an
Please tell me he's
appearance
so rumbly,
until
it's
3,
making him forget.
because he didn't appear in
If he
Dream
learns
Drop
about it,
Distance.
He's sure to remember.
He was
Well,
nowhere
none
to
of
be
the real
seen.
Guess it's worth a
Xehanort
try.
had all the organization members except
Might
for the 13th seat
But
filled
probably not.
at the time of Dream
First,
Drop.
we gotta find some
Yeah,
honey.
and Terra.
And we know that 13th
If
seat was
honey's
originally
what
supposed
you're
to go to
looking
Sora.
for, I know
And
just
Mickey,
the
Donald,
place.
Goofy, and Axel said,
Follow
nope.
me.
Well, and Riku. We can't forget about Riku.
Riku's the one who led the charge in that final battle. Of course we can't.
See,
Speaking of Dream Drop, I actually haven't technically beaten Dream Drop, but I technically have.
in what way do you mean?
I've beaten Young Xehanort. I've beaten the Darkness in Sora's Heart. I can't remember its name right now for the life of me.
I think it's just kind of like Dark Sora type thing, because it's Vanitas or Ventus's armor that we're fighting.
Splendid. Just
Also, I'm gonna
game.
pause here. I need to skip out. Go to the main menu, guys. Oh my gosh, we're going to the main menu in the middle of a stream. What terribleness.
But I
forgot to change my display.
I beat Ansem as Riku. I think you fight Ansem as Riku, but I never beat Xemnas as Sora. But because I had played it on my 3DS, the game I got happened to have a completed file just past the Xemnas fight. I just took advantage of that and said fuck Xemnas and proceeded from there.
Oh yeah, you fight Xemnas is the final boss of Sora's story. Ansem is not the final boss of Riku's story, but that's
Honestly,
young Xehanort.
the way I define it is
This
Xemnas
the
is the
place
final
I
boss,
told
or
you about.
Ansem is the final boss of Riku's story.
wow. Look
And
at
then
that.
the final story begins once you
Oh,
beat
yummy
both
for my
stories, because
tummy.
you can play a little post Xemnas, but you
doesn't
can't
that honey
actually go
belong
to
to
where the true
someone?
final battles are until after you beat Sora. So I define from the skyscraper to the end as the final story.
Well, yeah, but that's after Ansem.
Yeah, that's why I define it as the final story. and define Riku's end as the Ansem fight and Xemnas as the end of Sora's story. Does it make sense? It's kind of like Birth by Sleep, how all three stories intersected at the Keyblade Graveyard, but the real final story happened over in Radiant Garden. Which, that still trips me out, the fact that Radiant Garden and Hollow Bastion are one and the same.
Yeah, I loved Sakurai explaining that. It's like the little bit of lore that he got to explain with the stage. It's like, oh, this is Hollow Bastion, originally known as Radiant Garden, but then became Radiant Garden in Kingdom Hearts 2 once again after being Radiant Guardian in Birth by Sleep.
And it's Radiant Garden in the events of 3 and 3 Remind.
I didn't like that we never got to explore Radiant Garden again. I loved Radiant
We
Garden.
might get to, and honestly, there's a couple of worlds I'd want to return in the next Kingdom Hearts game since they're going back to worlds. Obviously, they're not going to be able to include all the worlds Sora's been to, because that is way too many.
Well, yeah.
But, like Deep Jungle, the fact Tarzan had in helping Sora.
Except for one problem. You wanna know the reason we haven't had a jungle world since? A Deep Jungle world since 1?
Because of
Disney lost the rights to Tarzan, I think, is what it was.
No, I don't. I've done some looking into it. It's not that. I think there's something else to it.
Well, I don't think it was Disney. I think Square lost the right to use it.
But obviously, there's 7 worlds we're guaranteed to get. Or 6 worlds. 7 worlds we're guaranteed to get, and that's the 7 princesses of heart. Because if anyone might have any clues to that, to the fantasy to Quadrado, it's gonna be them.
Yeah.
Yes, Kairi didn't have it, but Kairi literally forgot her childhood.
See,
As
what I
was
would
proven.
love is if they,
Also, Subception subs.
yes.
I have not seen him in. I don't even know how long.
See, that's the thing. I would love if they made, like, a new 100 Acre Wood. Basically, like, a new idea, like 100 Acre Wood, where it's kind of an optional world, but it's still something cool that you can go do, because I feel like a Cars world would be such a good idea for, like, for a 100 Acre Wood world type thing, where it's like, you know, it's this world that you can go visit, and you can just do whatever.
Oh, yeah, speaking of the unrelated note, but related note, I realized something recently.
Thank you.
We say Olympus Coliseum / Olympus does not follow the plot of the Hercules movie. If anything, it follows the movie more to the nail than any of the other Disney worlds. All the events up to 3 are Hercules training for the final battle against the Titans. Hades.
My tummy seems to be telling me there's some honey right in
Because
there.
if you think about it, in Birth by Sleep, Hercules is a kid. That would have been when he first realized what he needed to do to regain his god powers.
He still doesn't remember. What in the world has gotten into Pooh Bear?
Whatever it is, we better help him.
Yeah.
For now.
Oh yes, and quickly too.
Playing ukulele right now. Why are we spamming Flygon W in Joey's chat?
Yeah, what else? See, honestly, I'm hoping with 4, I'm desperately hoping that Kairi
You're okay
actually
now,
is a
Pooh?
playable
Well,
character.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Beyond the final battle.
Just look at him.
I
He doesn't
need,
even remember who I am.
Kairi, like, they literally could
So
make
this mystery
Kairi's
wind, or
training with
maybe he's
Aqua
actually
be
needs
going
more
around
honey,
to different
or
worlds
He's sleepwalking.
that Sora
yeah,
had
honestly-
visited, and, like,
We-
talking, she could actually be the one to go look for the Princesses of Heart, and talk to them and learn from them about, you know, how to use her power.
There's like 5 different stories
That's
they
right,
could
you're
do.
always stopping by for lunch. Wait,
Because there's Aqua and
Pooh,
Terra,
you called me
or Aqua
Rabbit.
and Kairi, We could see what
course,
Ventus
Rabbit.
and we could
What
have a
about
story
Eeyore?
on what Ventus and
Do you
Terra are
remember
doing.
Eeyore?
Ventus and
Think-
Terra would probably be
Hello there, Eeyore.
either still
It's ever so
exploring
nice
the
to
realm
see
of
you
darkness,
today.
or they'd be helping
Thanks for
the others.
But that could still
search
be
for
its own
Sora.
story. That could still be
And
its own
hello to
story.
you too, somebody I don't know.
Obviously there's the obvious one. There's the obvious ones of exploring the worlds
Well,
as Kyrie and Aqua,
at least
Mickey
you
and
remember Rabbit
Scala,
and Eeyore now.
and Riku and Quadratum.
Yeah. See, I honestly like what I'm thinking.
I don't see Sora and Quadratum being a thing till we actually pinpoint his location. I
Well,
don't
Sora-
see that. I don't see that being a story. Like, we know he's in a skyscraper area of some sorts from 3 Remind.
Well, yeah.
But that's about the extent of what we know. We know that. The cast of Kingdom Hearts does not.
Well, yeah. I also think that, to be honest, I honestly think Sora could be the final boss of Kingdom
Hi.
Hearts 4.
Well, hello,
I
Sora.
would love
Yes.
that, because
Hello
it'd be
there,
the same.
somebody I don't
Because
know.
at the end of Remind, even whether you beat or lost to
told me Pooh wasn't
your
quite
Sora
himself.
disappeared,
thought
right?
this might be
Turned
just
to
what
ice
the
or
poor
whatever.
dear
Yeah,
needed.
he shatters
I
and you
haven't-
lose,
Yeah,
but
I
he
hope
then,
you can do better.
like, goes back to the final world if you win, and your Zora goes back to his own conscience.
a present.
See, they could instead of having a Dark Sword final boss, they could have a, and this would actually tie in to the question of whether who the Master of Masters is and whether the Master of Masters is actually evil. They could have a light Sora. The first saga focused heavily on darkness being
Come on,
bad.
let's go after
What
him.
if they had the second saga being in a with it looking like it's gonna take primarily place in the fantasy world, focus on light being evil?
Yeah.
So
The
they could have
way-
a light. They could have an all-powerful sword consumed with ultimate light or something. There's a lot they can do with 4. Let's be realistic. Nomura's gonna do maybe half of it. Let's be
Yeah.
realistic here. Also, I love sitting through 10 minutes of cutscenes and I'm not even paying attention to what's going on in Ukulele.
Yes. Oh, what was I gonna say? Basically, here's what I picture here. If we have a final boss against Sora, I see Riku starting the fight, and I'm seeing it as like a similar thing to Dark Aqua,
Yeah?
where like Riku starts the fight, and then you know how like Sora comes in and he finishes the fight. I don't see like this like a finishing the fight type thing, but
It could be something like Birth by Sleep, where, they all end up in Quadratum, they fight like... Because this would tie in, because
bet you
there's
remember
gotta
me
be
now,
more
don't you, Buddy
reason
Bear?
than Zigbar being
Well,
revealed
I
as
remember that
Mushu.
bouncing always
To the
makes
fact
me
that
hungry.
Mushu and the Lost Masters were revealed at the end of 3. Besides the fact,
All that
revealing the
bouncing
fact
still
that
doesn't
Zigbar
remember
is
me.
Mushu. How do I roll?
Well, then I guess bouncing's
Oh,
not the
actually,
answer.
how do I roll? Do I not have the
Makes you
rolling
take a
ability
roll
yet?
off never
Yeah.
I don't have the
wanna
rolling
forget.
ability yet. I don't have anything yet. Cool.
see, the crazy thing is we don't know if 4 will be the next game. The only thing we know about the next game is that the project is called Project Oath, which is why I believe it's going to be based around Kyrie.
No, but Tigger.
Yeah.
I always thought
mean-
that bouncing was what Tiggers did best.
It could, but like I was saying, it could have something like where maybe the Lost Masters trying to bring the Master of Masters back, has Sora team up with them somehow. I don't know why he would team up with Zigbar voluntarily. But hypothetically speaking, they in the final battles against the Lost
Project
Master,
Xenoblade. Hell yeah, man.
in the final battles against the Lost Masters and Sora in the three overarching stories, and then there's a final story like where Sora and Yuzora fought, where
Oh, no, who that
Riku and
is.
Kairi go toe to toe with Sora to try and bring him back to his senses. Kind of like what they did in
Oh,
Birth
well,
by Sleep, where
perhaps
Aqua,
I'll
Ventus, and
remember
Terra
tomorrow.
had their showdowns with Vanitas, Xehanort, and Zigbar.